It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Raiders and the football team, and it's coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 19 carries, 51 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, you know, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And the final readout on next-gen stats, remarkable. That ball traveling close to 80 yards in the air. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
And no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 21 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll run with Gibson. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
You know, it was tough for them to stand on the sidelines and watch the other team take it downfield and score, wasn't it? So they knew when they got on the field, it's on them. Pick up first downs, get downfield and score. How about them picking up that 3rd and short?
I was just going to say, you and I were talking before the game, those 3rd down conversions are going to be huge in this one. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to throw here. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2nd and 5. Incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 4. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Chris Jones now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Oh, look at the juke. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
Point A, B, and C.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Boom! That's how we do it.
Washington going to send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. This is brought in at the 21. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now? Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. Here we go. And that is Allen. Still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Back to throw again. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. Will try for 3. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's out right at the 25. It's a gain of 14 yards. That's good for Washington. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3 tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And Washington has made this a 1-score game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is down to a field goal. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chase Young, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Looking to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It's a big play there for Vegas. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And I tell you from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's-eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag. did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So for Ron Rivera, challenging that call turns out to be the right decision. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 25.
Pick, baby, all day. Don't throw this way.
And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there for the Raiders.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll set up a throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. So a fake field goal run in for the touchdown. That can be a huge momentum swing.
And that's got to drive a defensive coach and a special teams coach crazy. Someone else running it in on a fake field goal when you're supposed to be alert for it. Terrific play by the offense. Not so much by the defense.
And McPherson on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line.
That's how we do it, baby.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll look to throw here. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A huge play there for Washington. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schultz. Second and 6. And the Raiders have got him. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Washington on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Let's go. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Washington going to send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Vegas. Prime example there of how his height can be an advantage. It makes it tough on some of these smaller defensive backs.
When they try and go through that type of a receiver to get the football, oftentimes that big body, that frame will block them away. And whether the receiver has to elevate or extend, now he has a clear path to the football with the defender usually on his back.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end to pick up there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 3. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's a 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He'll go underneath here to his running back. Catch is made. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Michael Pittman. As the first half is winding down. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McPherson on for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Harris to return it. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And it's been the passing game that's been